Hello students, I am Ashmit Vimal and I am going to teach you how to build an object detection API using YOLO and Flask. For those students who are new to the topic of YOLO and Flask, machine learning or web development, no need to worry, I am going to start from the basic and scratch. So let's get started. So our project will require three things. First, the YOLO model. The YOLO model will detect objects from the image, and then an object detection script which is written on Python for integrating with YOLO model. And then we will have a Flask code. Flask code will act as a front end which will send the request from the user to the backend, which is a Python model that will process the image, run on the model, and then send back to the image to us. So these are the requirements. So we will go to all the requirements, and if you don't know anything about any of these topic, so I will there to teach you. Okay, so let's get started. So let's talk about YOLO model. So what is YOLO? For this I have attached a file or a reference for the documentation. Click on the link and you will get redirected to the documentation page. So first of all, YOLO. YOLO stands for you only look once. It is a real-time object detection system or a model which detects object from an image or even a video with a pretty high accuracy. This YOLO v3 model is extremely fast and accurate, and it can easily trade off between speed and accuracy by changing only the constraint of the size of the model, and we don't have to retrain the whole model. Note for the student, if you don't know about machine learning and the trade-off between speed and accuracy, no need to worry. This is not our objective, and you will get all the codes pre-written in the repository. So the main question arises, how to integrate this model in our code? For this we have our documentation. You can go to the link GitHub, clone it and work on it. But as you can see, this model is pretty lengthy and it's not a beginner friendly. So for this I have also created a one repository which contains only the required files and the Flask code for our project, and the link for that I have attached in the code repository. So as you can see, it contains only the important files and it's quite easy to understand the whole architecture. So first of all, YOLO v3 model contains three things. One, coco.names. It contains all the classes that it can classify accurately. Second, it contains a configuration file which have its deep network architecture. And the third one is, this is YOLO v3.wait. And the reason that it's not present in the repository because its file size is 237 MB, and we usually don't upload this much of size in the repository, but you can easily get this file from this command in the project directory. So that's all for YOLO model. Now the second requirement is the Python scripts that we have written all over the question, and for this we have also attached this in our repository. Let's click on the link, and this is our YOLO detection.py. This is a file which takes an argument of image and predict the model, and the working of this model is pretty big. If you can understand, go through the model and you will get all the details, and I have also attached some comments for you. So this is an object detection script, and the next thing is Flask code. Now before moving to the Flask code, we should get know what is a Flask. So Flask is a micro framework that is developed with Python for the web development. It is an easy course, and the documentation have quite tutorials for you to understand easily. So let's start with our understanding of the Flask and how we can use in our projects. So let's open the terminal. The first step is to create a project which will act our Flask entry point. Let's make the project mkdir Flask. Let's move to this project. Now we are inside the Flask project. Now how to run this Flask? First step was to install. You can install Flask by running this command pip install Flask. And with this command, if it is already installed, you will get a direct message, but if not installed, you can easily install with Python repository. After that, make a file. Let's name this file as app.py. Okay, this is our main entry point for the Flask representative. So what is the code inside we have to write? We can easily get this code from quick start. Here it is this will print hello world in our web page. So let's paste it here and save it. And to run this model, first we have to export this as a Flask app. So this will know from where to work from the file and hello.py. After this we can easily run Flask run. This will do the all compilation, and you can easily go cannot import hello, oh sorry, and our file name was app.py. So here it is in, and Flask run, and the production mode is started. So we can easily click on the link and you will be directed to your hello world, and you can see our web page is running. So this is all about Flask. So congratulations, now you have all the information needed for creating the project. Let's move our task, that what we have to do. The first step will be have to running YOLO object detector script that I have already attached in our code repository. After that we will make a web app with Flask. Then we will merge both these with the building an API that will contact with the backend running YOLO object detector script, and frontend a web app developed with Flask. After it all, and nothing can be done without debugging. So these are all the other steps that we have to follow. So the first step is that I have already attached my link. Go to the link and clone it. If you are all familiar with GitHub is a one version control system that hosts all our files for easy transfer in all our computer. So let's get this file. I will also show you how to code this, how to get all the files in there here. So first go to here and click this paste icon. After that git clone and run this file. This will clone all the files present in my repository to your folder. Now as you can see, now you have an object detection YOLO file. Go to there and open any code editor. I am using Visual Studio Code Editor. You can use any, whichever suits you. Let's open it. So here is our visual code, which contains all our files that were previously present on GitHub and now in your own local machines. These are some images that we can check after the model runs. It contains a CSS file, a JS file for web page. It contains a template that is basically an HTML file for running this model. It contains an app.py file, and I will explain this file in a detail after some time. And this is what happened. Just a minute. This is our object detection file that we copy from the YOLO model. So let's get moved to the one by one in all these steps. Now before I tell you how this model works and how these files are working, let me show you the model and how it's working on the front end. And before running the model, as I've already said, this file doesn't have YOLO v3.wait. So first I have to download this file. So copy this file and run this file and paste it here, and it will send the file. Let us complete the download. So now it has downloaded the file YOLO v3.wait, and now we can see it in action. For seeing action, let's run this file python3.app.py. This is our main entry point. When you run this file, it will open up a server and you can go to the link. So here it is a beautiful front end. I know it's not that much beautiful, but yeah, it's working, and that's all we need. So the first step, choose a file. Let's choose an image of dog. Okay, I'm choosing an image of dog, and I'm going to send this file to our backend Flask. And you can see it is loading YOLO from this, and it means it's predicting the output. And after it has completed this step, it will show us the predicted image. Okay, and you can see it has detected that it has a dog with 0.997 accuracy, and also it has detected a car that is in the background. Okay, that's quite good, and it's working. So now let's move to the code and how this is working. Let's start with the front end. So front end is a index file which contains a title and a link to the style sheet and the jQuery integration, and this is here the main object. This is our heading, and this is a space where we will display the image. This is from where you can read the image or send the image from your computer to the machine, and here is the send button. When we click send button, what is that? It sends a AJAX request to the URL localhost detect object with a post method of our form data. And if you don't know what is get or post, don't worry, this is post method is just a method for sending a file from front end to the backend server. Here in backend is our Python file. So when we send this file goes to the app.py, and app.py has a detect object, and this router detect that it has a, and the URL had detect object option. So this calls this method, and when you call this method, first it receives the file, convert it into a NumPy array, then it's decode it into a CV2. CV2 is a Python package which used for image manipulation, and then it's run the img, it's run the run model. So run model, what is this run model? Run model is the file which is present in our YOLO detection image. So when you go here, YOLO detection image, so here it is our run model. So what run model is doing? Run models for getting the labels that I have downloaded, its configuration paths, weights path, and then it's doing some pretty much functions, and you can go line by line and get what is labels function is doing, what is get labels, colors is doing. But I'm going to skip this and move towards the get prediction, which is our last step. So inside the get prediction, it first get the height and width of the image, it then get the layer names that are connected in our layers, and then after that, on predicting the model, it's develop border boxes on all of the image that detects objects. After detecting this, it's return the image, and this returned image goes to this img variable. This img variable is then converted into an image from the array. Then we save it in a JPG format and send back this image to our Flask front end. Here from you can see return JSON file, it's sending our image to our front end, and this image then goes to the here success function. When this AJAX function loads the data and sends it to the backend, it goes to the success function. This success function receives the data that in this case is our image, and this image then is processed the image and set it into a image inbox src. And what is this src? You can see it's setting us the target result. This file it's in the image, and you can see here img img box is equal to src. Now the src field is blank, but when we get the data, this field populates with the image location. And this is all how this code works. Now you know how this code works. Go through the file, read the input, clone the repository, and work on your own. Thank you.